Hello friends, welcome back to the studio. I'm Beatriz. Does it feel like painting white flowers on white paper is almost an impossible task? Well, if so, you're not alone. However, in today's video, I'm going to show you how by putting some soft grays, we can end up with a beautiful bouquet of anemones and eucalyptus. We're not even going to put a background. We're going to let the flowers tell the story. So get your brushes ready and let's start painting. All right, let's get start painting some anemones and eucalyptus. We're gonna start with the center of these flowers, which are dark, and once we put the dark, then it will allow us to see how dark or not we need to go on the shadows of the petals, because remember, this is a white flower, so we had to be mindful of that. We're gonna start with black. I always make my own blacks by mixing French ultramarine and bronze. Using the two brush technique, meaning with one brush I'm picking my blacks, and this other one is only water. So, black at the center. Go with the one that has only water. It doesn't have to be a whole lot of water, just dumb. Bring it closer to this edge. And I give us the variation of the center of the flower. Now, with only water, we're gonna pull up and give it kind of how these flowers go. We don't want it to be all even. And if we feel like it is, like it has too much of the light, then we go back and we can drop a little bit of the darker and some of these ones. We will revise this after we put the petals, just in case. But we got our center done. And now that I have that, I'm gonna do exactly the same thing on these other two. I'm gonna fast forward for that. While the center of the flower is dry, we're gonna go ahead and start getting ready to paint the eucalyptus leaves. And for that, I'm gonna be using a turquoise, and I'm also gonna get myself ready a little bit of a blue, because this type of flowers, this is the French ultramarine, by the way, this type of leaves on the eucalyptus tend to lean a little bit more on the blue side. I also have some Indian yellow and some primary yellow. In case, I will probably use a little bit of the primary yellow. Once again, I'm gonna have two brushes. One, we're gonna wet, only water. And then in my other one, I already picked up some of the turquoise and I dropped the paint. It is better if you can have, if possible, like to have my colors blend and the paper like this. We allow for this, for the water and the paper to do the rest. And if you feel like I feel here, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you, that this is a little bit too wide, then I can just go with the brush that has only water and push the color a little bit, not a whole lot, just a little bit, and we leave it alone. A little bit of water again in the center, but once I put the water in there, I'm gonna bring a little bit of my primary yellow, whichever color you use. This is Hansa yellow light. Once again, I come with my turquoise, and then I'm gonna have the turquoise make the yellow. And if I feel like the yellow, the turquoise is taking over the yellow, go with your brush that only has water and bring these colors a little bit to the edge. Burn a little more of that right here. This is turquoise, by the way. And two leaves are done. Now, it seems like, can you see it? Like it's only a band over there of yellow. So go like this so it doesn't look so much, push it out. Or if you wanted it to, you could also bring a little bit of yellow. I choose to do it this way. I think it looks good. All right, let me do the next stream and speed up for you. All right, and now I'm coming with a bronze sienna and a very thin brush, And we're gonna just put some of these stems so that all our leaves are connected. Have the same combinations of French ultramarine and birch sienna, but this time lighter, meaning less quantity of them and more water. And with this, I'm gonna make me a grace. And these are gonna be the ones for the shadows of the petals of these flowers. All right, and a little bit of negative painting, people. Negative painting, of course, meaning we paint around the edges, and then the object appear. So we're gonna be painting, put the sensor shadows on this petal. So these two petals, and then this one here, and these two petals will appear by the magic of my negative painting. Okay, once again, 2 brushes. I'm gonna start by wetting a little bit around the edge, kind of half of it, half of this petal, water, and then my gray. That's a little bit too much blue, so let's just bring a little bit more of the brown sienna. This is a lot better. So you see, wherever it touches the wet, it gets a soft edge because it's wet on wet. And now I'm coming here, and this petal is gonna start appearing. This petal is good. Maybe put a slightly darker right on the edge of the petal, and here in between these two. Good. We're gonna let that one dry. Again, I'm gonna do the same thing here, and because that way we will go all around it, and you will see how nice it looks. Now, for this one, sometimes these flowers also have a little bit of hint of yellow. So I'm gonna get myself a little of the, I have over here some Queen Gold, which is like yellow that is less bright than the primary yellow. Drop it, just a hint, okay, with the gray. Once again, doing the negative painting for this petal. And let's see, this petal ends up over there. So here we go. And then we turn it around because the petal is not flat. So turn, and then we bring some of that gray light into our Queen Gold. And you see, we got variation. And you're saying, oh my God, this flower doesn't look white right now. It doesn't, but it will when it dries. You wait and see. We're gonna obviously leave some a little bit lighter. All right, we're gonna continue. Since these ones are wet, we need to hop around so the wetness of this other one doesn't get into it. I'm coming here. What I mean by that is, if I was going to start painting this one, all my colors will run into the white one, and we don't want to do that. But I don't want to get my hair dried either, because I want all these colors to continue to mingle and dry by themselves, which is always, we always get more and better blendings when that happens. So now I just bring in the water. I don't want to keep bringing it over there, so if I go in the opposite direction, see, I still have my blending, but I start bringing the color. A little bit of gray, bam. Now we did the negative painting on this one. Can you see how this petal and this petal is starting to come in, and this one as well? This petal is flat and it needs to be a little bit curved. So how do we do that? I want most of my petal to be white. I come with water. Here, I'm gonna bring a little bit of my gray and then a churner. By that it means I'm making like a little bit on roundness. Then back to the water, bounce wet. And now I'm coming with the gray color. And again, I don't want it to go everywhere because I want it to look like it's turning. So let's just go only like this. Water. And this flower is almost done. Hint on this one, basically it's just water and a very little bit of gray over there. That's it. because it is a white flower after all. Now I'm gonna fast forward to this other one, and this one is a little bit different, so I will show you in real time how some of these petals are done. We're gonna see a little bit more of a little bit of the variation. So this time, instead of getting only with a wet ahead of time, and instead of going with the queen gold, I'm gonna bring a little bit of bronze sienna. I put the bronze sienna here in the edge. Go with the water and the opposite direction, so that I don't keep spreading my bronze sienna there. And then, oops, got a little bit of that, it's okay. Just go with the water. And then I'm gonna bring the gray. So some of this gray and top of this, but the edge. Everything is wet, because it's wet on wet. We want to have it no hard edges, and that's what it gives us that the delicacy of a petal of a flower. This one is gonna cast a shadow over here. So I got the gray. Well, let's just get a little of the bronze sienna. Bronze sienna, bronze sienna on this edge. Look how delicate this is gonna look. Gorgeous. Water, water, and yes, we're gonna bring a little bit of gray, obviously. Hint of it, right here, to the edge. So for this one, I'm gonna have in a couple places some hard edges. So look, I put my water, but I leave a few areas not wet. Then bronze sienna, and I start, some of them will go straight, and tip, tap, tap with the tip of my brush. You see how I have a little bit of a hard edge, but that's good because it gives us movement. I'm gonna start moving it a little bit to this edge, and here I'm gonna make it turn. And that's what is gonna take away the flatness of the paper. I mean, we're working on flat paper. So, all right, and I'm gonna bring my queen gold once more onto this edge. Water, water, water all the way to the edge. And now we bring some gray. Maybe this one is a little bit more of a full over here. And now I bring the gray, and right away with water. So a tiny little bit of hard edges, but mainly soft. And we will just need a little bit of that hard, darker here, because this petal is gonna be casting a little shadow. All right, and like that, if you treat each petal as an individual, like it is an individual painting, at the end you end up with the whole painting looking gorgeous. I just want to go a little bit darker on this edge, and then this big petal will be done. I have a little bit of a hard edge here by the yellow, so I want to take that one out. Since these ones were done exactly the same way, I went ahead and did it. And as you can see, our anemones, all of them are done. How do you paint white flowers and white paper? Well, by adding shadows, very light color with a lot of water, and very little, if almost none, just a couple hard edges. The important thing is not to have too many hard edges. All right, if I go with water, and now I bring a little bit of this turquoise and blues, I'm gonna, by putting strategically this leaf over here, I'm gonna make those two flowers pop. And that is another way to paint white flowers, by getting a companion to them, being eucalyptus or whatever other kind of greenery that you can think of. And and that would be the one that brings the color. However, because these are in the cool size with the whites and grays, I didn't want it to bring here very bright yellows. I mean greens that have a lot of yellow. I'm gonna add a little bit more of my blue right here, and then we're gonna bring some of that coming out. Why? Because yellow, a little hint here or a little hint there is okay, but yellows are warm color. And since we are going with whites, then we want to have more of a, this is more of a cool bouquet. I am going to bring a hint of, can be burnt sienna here. And I'm using granulated colors, so because I'm moving and I'm using the water, then it seems like they are getting me that texture. I'm perfectly fine with it. I actually like it. All right. And what I want to do though is I'm going to bring a little bit of a hint of a gray at there, because there's two flowers, one flower and one other flower. So I want it to be a little bit darker. Nice. We have one more, which is here. This one is going to be a little bit more closer to there, like it's not enclosed with all these flowers in the middle, so it's okay to bring some of Queen Gold. As a matter of fact, I wanted it, so Queen Gold goes there, and then in the color, and this color, the green, is going to make these two petals gonna have an edge and hopefully popped up a little bit. Once again, since I have a little bit of dark there, I'm gonna put a little bit of dark here too. And that's it. This one is gonna go really fast. Water. I have the darker blue, it's okay. I can take advantage of that. Yet again, I have the petal here. So, but now I'm going with my turquoise, let them blend in the paper, and now I'm going to bring the turquoise onto the blue, because the blue was giving me a little bit of a hard edge. So now if I just take all the water and all the colors and then just go a little bit like that, I get my highlight, which is very characteristics of this of the eucalyptus leaves. Put the burnt sienna here, leave it to the edge, pick with the tip of my brush and spray enough, just spread it enough, just lightly. I'm gonna do the same thing here, and then again I'm just gonna make it go lightly. And we have two, but we actually have three leaves, so let's just do it on the third one. Nice. And for fun, to fill up a little bit of these areas here, we're going to put these, I don't know what they are, but I saw it in a bouquet. So I don't know if you know this, but bouquets make beautiful paintings. Not too long ago, I was commissioned to make to paint the bouquet of a bride. That was the mom's, the mother of the bride, gift to her daughter. And she wanted it she took, the photographer took a picture of the bouquet, and then she commissioned me to have a painting done so that her daughter will always remember that day. Isn't that cool? But I had a lot of fun painting that one. It was also in whites, that's why it wasn't anemones, it was a different kind of flowers. And sorry, I don't know all the names specifically of my flowers, but I had a lot of with the turquoise, and then after I have the turquoise, I put either a little bit of burnt sienna or a little bit of the Queen Gold in the middle. Then once again, I bring the turquoise, and I let them blend in the paper. What are these little things? I don't know. But it came to my mind, all the bouquets, like I was saying, I don't know all the names of my flowers. I apologize for that. But all the bouquets have these little things coming out The little flowers, little baby breads, things like that. They make the bouquets look gorgeous. Let's bring a little bit of blue. And they give them movement to the bouquet. And you have the big flowers, obviously the protagonists, but then you have to have something to support them. Now, if anybody painting this knows what is the name of these kind of little things, put it in the comments so we all learn it, because obviously I'm not able to tell you. Okay, couple more, but you see how these ones bring a little bit of playfulness. That's the word that I was looking for, a little bit of playfulness to the bouquet. Now, these are not coming from nowhere, so these had to be coming from somewhere here. So let's just give them a little bit of a stem as they are, like if that one will be coming to here. And I was gonna call this painting done, but this little empty space here has been bothering me, so I say, hey, let's just add it, kind of like if a second leaf is coming from there. It will go behind these petals, so we don't have to put a whole lot, but a little bit of blue. I feel like, yeah, it looks better. We needed something to fill up this tiny little space. All right, I'm gonna call this beautiful bouquet of anemones and eucalyptus done. It is a gorgeous flowers, and as you can see, painting white flowers and white paper can be done as long as you are very delicate with your colors. Very little hard edges, and then having a little bit of greenery around obviously helps as well. I hope that this made you feel more confident to tackle some of the white flowers. We end up with a beautiful bouquet of anemones and eucalyptus without any background, but you can still see how the flowers tell the story. If you like to paint flowers, I'm going to leave here the playlist where I have others so that you can get inspired. And as always, I thank you so much for being here in my videos, and I will see you on the next one.